Hello, everyone. This is Lisa Jimenez, and I'm the founder of She Is Me, but I'm also the founder and owner of Creative Life Happy Soul. And today I'm going to share with you how to get happy, right? How to get happy. First, I'm going to tell you my story and tell you how I got here. And then we're going to talk about how we can sort of turn our lives around, turn our energy around, and how we can uh, find our happy place. Okay, so my name is Lisa. Again, I was born and raised here in California, but I am the byproduct of an English mother and a Mexican father. And I grew up with my Mexican grandmother, who was a great healer. This woman um, was somebody who could really feel pain and discomfort and disease in people and help heal them with herbs and natural medicines and energy. She had healing hands. And I was so fortunate enough to, I didn't know it at the time, but I was so fortunate enough to not only inherit those gifts, but to be raised around her and know that that this was possible, that being a healer was possible. She was very religious in the Catholic faith, being from Mexico, but she also believed in the power of the earth, in nature, and was taught that from a long line of teachers and healers. So I was very, very fortunate to be raised by her and with her. Um, and when I was a kid, I was someone who was fascinated with witches. I was fascinated with magic. I was fascinated with magic wands and being able to create something out of nothing, but really to be able to manipulate energy. That was what I was really fascinated with. Um, so I loved watching my grandmother. I loved watching people come to her and ask for help, and for her to everyone that she met with left feeling better than they did when they got there. And I knew at that point that that was what I wanted my goal in life to be, or I knew that that was my life purpose, was to be able to make an impact on people so that they they left feeling better than they did when they met me or they experienced me. So because I always loved magic and had this knowing of things that were not right in front of me, I I did a lot of things. I read magic books. I read books about witches. I had a magic set when I was a kid, and I wanted to learn how to do magic. But what I didn't like about the magic kit was that it wasn't. Once I realized there was sort of a trick to all of these displays, I didn't want to. It was fake to me then. It was fake. It wasn't. I wasn't really doing anything. I was just hiding things from people. And so I gave up my magic career at that point in time when I was 9, I think, something like that. Um, but I always would receive messages and give messages when I was a kid, and my father used to get very frustrated with me and say, "Well, how do you know that? How do you know?" I would say, "Dad, I don't know. I just know. I just know." And I would just stomp off and I'd be really mad because nobody believed me. I just knew it. I just knew whatever I said was a message that I'd gotten from somewhere, and I had to tell people. So in second grade, I decided to have a seance at my house and got all the kids interested. And we went in my room and we lit a candle, and something actually happened. The door was shut, the windows were closed, but the candle got blown out and the curtains started moving, and I scared everyone to death, and nobody at that point wanted to come over to my house anymore and play with me because I was scary. Um, when I was 12, I had my best friend at the time, her dad, um, we went for a ride in his car and he told me that he was going to die basically and that I would be the last person that he spoke to. And for years um I didn't know why he would say that to me, me of all people, but there was some knowing in that, right? Knowing in that exchange. Um when I was 15, I was doing laundry. Our washing machine broke, and I went to the little laundromat by our house, and the woman who was the psychic in our town was doing her laundry, and everybody was really scared of her. But she came over to me, and she grabbed my hands, and she said, "Do you know how powerful you are?" And told me a bunch of other information, and that stuck with me for a very long time. But I had no guide or no teacher, and I didn't know really what to do with that. And I think I did tell my grandmother, but she was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, we know. Now, go do something." I don't know what she said, but anyway, um, when I was 17, I got a message that my dad was going to be in a coffin. So I called his work and this is before cell phones, and I called his work, and the dispatcher at his job said, "He's on a job, but I'll have him call you." And he didn't get the message, and he came home and he was really, really shooken up. And when he came in the house, I said, "Dad, Dad, Dad, did you get my message?" And he said, "No, why? But don't bother me. I've had a really bad day." And I said, "But Dad, Dad, I was trying to warn you. I saw you in a coffin." And he looked at me and he just got pure white. And he said that he had been working in a mortuary that day, and he'd been drilling a hole. He was a core driller and a concrete saw man, and he was coring a hole, and he fell off a ladder and he landed on a coffin. Um, and then later, these are just things that really stuck out that are things that you could have, in your life. If you've had experiences like this, you could just like, whoa, that was weird. Um, Driving down the road, I was actually going to a um, a psychic astrologer friend that somebody had recommended to me because I was going through a really tough time, and she introduced me to this man, a guru from her ashram. And I was driving down there, and if you know PCH in Huntington Beach to Seal Beach in California, there are no citrus groves around there at all. And I'm driving down to get there, and I get this huge smell of this really intense smell of lemons. And I get to the house, and he greets me. He comes out of his house and he greets me, and he said, "Come in, I've made you some lemon tea." And I said, "Oh my gosh, I just had this scent of lemons." And he said, "Oh yeah, I thought you would get the message, or I thought you would notice that." And I was like, "How did you think that?" But he had already looked at my chart, and he'd already looked at all this stuff. And fascinating, fascinating, when you look back and you kind of start putting all these things together of things that have happened to you in your life, and you realize that you do have some gifts, and you realize that they weren't just coincidences. Um, I often still have messages and names, and when I do readings, I actually have started at a very young age. I didn't know where I could buy a tarot deck, but I really wanted one, so I created my own and started doing sort of intuitive readings. And I was fascinated with astrology, so I taught myself astrology. And over the years, because of my curiosity, I've been and my ability to get in alignment and manifest things pretty quickly, I've been able to manifest these amazing teachers into my life and be able to just soak in the knowledge and learn everything I can about my gifts and how to, help other people with gifts. Um, so One story I have about a teacher that I met, I moved across the state. I helped my husband at the time start a business, and I was the person doing all of the outreach and the marketing and everything else. So I showed up at a business networking meeting, and the person who had invited me saying, we have very strict rules, don't be late, on and on and on. And it happened to be at the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose. And I'm typically never late. I'm one of these people who's always early or on time, or I get there early and I show up on time. So I'm never late, but I was late. And I get there, and of course, I open the door and I disturb the whole meeting. And the only seat available in the meeting was next to this little woman with curly hair and big glasses. And she was waving at me like, come over, come over, come over and sit by me. And so I slinked in and I sat down, and she said, "Hi, I'm Mary. I'm a professional astrologer." And I said, "Oh my gosh, I've been looking for someone to do my chart and do a solar return for me and some other things." So I was thrilled to know her. And that started a very long, that was in the year 2000. So we've been friends, and she's been my teacher for a long time. And she has taught me so much, or I should say more guided me so much in using my gifts, recognizing my gifts and using my gifts and being able to help others with my gifts. So I've been very, very lucky in that way. So, oh, before I was really settled or aligned with my gifts and my abilities, I then would doubt myself. I very much did things due to, everything that's happened in my life, right? We all have all of these events and things and experiences and lessons and everything else that have happened in our lives. So much so that if we don't learn how to get through them, then we experience all kinds of blocks and challenges and negative events that keep happening. And we don't know why they keep happening. Why does this keep happening to me? Why is this going on? Um, and then we get so tired. We're just so tired. Everybody's just so tired. Or you might know of your gifts. You might know, but you're scared. You don't want to go out there and say you're a psychic, or say you're a medium, or say you have any kind of gift, because you might be blacklisted by your family. You might be, your friends don't know, the people that are close to you, or you have a job and you couldn't possibly put yourself out there on the internet. What if people at your work found out that you have this, other side of you, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that everybody on the planet has intuition, every single person. And if every single person on the planet that has intuition could learn to tap into it and listen to it, and just get rid of all of the layers of stuff um, that we were taught, the misinformation and the wrong, the the beliefs that were handed down generationally that really have nothing to do with us now. If we were to clear all of that out and just be tapped in to our intuition, every single person on the planet would be able to recognize their gifts and have all the gifts, right? So, yes, you are special. If you are recognizing your gifts and you are feeling your gifts and you are using your gifts, yes, you are special in that you have tapped in, right? You are getting into an alignment and allowing that stuff to come through you, um, or show up, right? Show up, not keep it buried, but show up. Um, but you might feel unworthy. You might feel like, why me? Who am I to be a leader, a light, a teacher, a guide? Who am I? I'm unworthy. I don't have what she has. There's a little envy going on. I can't get up in front of people and talk. It scares the crap out of me. Um, I I couldn't put myself out there on social media. Um I want to help people. I want to show the world who I am. But um there's so many reasons, right? Do you ever look at other people and you think, wow, everything just comes so easy for them? Or how come they can eat everything and they never gain a pound? Or how can they're out there doing this and they're making tons of money? I do the same thing. Why can't I make tons of money? Um, do you ever wonder, like, how did I get here in this situation where I'm at? Like, maybe you're going through a divorce, or you're completely overwhelmed, or you're an overachiever and you just kill yourself working and doing all this stuff every day. Well, I'm here to tell you that there is definitely a way to stop all of that. There's a way to recognize your gifts. There's a way to let them bubble up to the top. And there's a way for you to have more confidence. There is a way for you to get over what other people might think. There is a way for you to show your true self and not have, or even if people do judge you and criticize you, that it doesn't affect you at all. There is a way for you to be authentic and stand in your power and show the world who you really are. There's also a way, like, you don't have to put yourself out there. That's another thing that I want to say. If you are just coming out of the spiritual closet, you don't have to put yourself out there. You can just say, it's okay and I'm okay that I have this gift and that I use my gift and that I recognize it, and I have my own habits and my own rituals and my own practice, but not have to push it out, not have to show up, not have to do anything. That's okay too. But your goal is to be completely in alignment with yourself and stand in your power no matter what, right? Okay. So have you ever heard anyone say happiness is overrated? I hear people say this and I was like, are you kidding me? Happiness is the key to everything. So I teach about finding the key to happiness, right? Finding the key to happiness. And this is something that we do as humans. We think that happiness is something, right? When I get married and I have kids and a house and 3 acres and a horse, then I'm going to be happy. Are you happy right now without those things? If you're not happy right now without that stuff, then you are on your way to getting that stuff. If you're happy right now with yourself. If you're not happy with yourself, then that stuff is going to be just out of reach for a very long time. You need to get yourself into alignment. So this is what the work that I do is all about. It's all about alignment. So, happiness isn't a destination. So you're not going to, no matter how hard you work, or how much you suffer, or how many lessons you learn, or um, how much stuff you buy, a bigger house, all of those things. None of those things are going to make you happy. They might raise your vibration for a minute or two because you're like, yay, I got it. But how many times have you thought, oh, I really want that thing, right? There's that thing out there that I really want. And then you get that thing, and then what? And then you're like, okay, now I have that thing. Did it change everything? Did it change how I feel inherently inside? Probably not. Because we're always wanting. It's the human condition. We're always wanting, right? We always want to improve. We always want to go further. We always want to go higher. We always want to be better. We're always improving. So it's not about the stuff. It's not about the next thing we can get. It's about the journey, and it's about the path. And the path to joy is fun. And it's all about having fun. So I have fun every single day. I make it my purpose on purpose every morning when I wake up that today I'm going to have fun. No matter what, I'm going to have fun. And it did take me a while to get there, right? It took me a while to get there because often in the past, I would wake up and I would be worried about something and I would right away start this cycle of negativity and I would just be concerned on how I was going to get what I wanted. How was I going to do it? And the key word here is how. How was I going to do it? How was I ever going to learn to channel? How was I ever going to learn to read tarot cards? How was I ever going to learn the things that I needed to learn to be able to help people, how I wanted to help people? And all the time I'm thinking how. Honestly, I didn't have the resources or the knowledge or anything to even figure out the how. So all that time worrying about how was never going to get me there. So what I learned was that I needed to focus on the why. Why did I want to help people? Why did I want to learn how to read cards? Why did I want to become a healer? Why did I want to use my gifts? Why was uh, why was there this nagging feeling inside of me uh, that this was my path? Why did I want what I wanted? And what exactly was it what I wanted? So that is another thing you need to realize. What do you want? Do you even know? Do you even know what you want? So many people say, oh, I want this car and I want this house and I want this. Is that what you really want? Or is that what you've been taught that you should want? So were you taught that when you grow up, you need to go to college, you need to find a husband, you need to have kids, you need to have a big house, you need to entertain people, you need to have a dog in a backyard, and a enough money to go on vacation with your kids, to take them to Disney, all these things that are sort of the status quo, right? This is what you're supposed to do. Well, I'm here to tell you that none of that is real. It's all made up. It's all marketing. It's all ideas of happiness. But I'll tell you, some of the happiest people that I know have never been to Disneyland, have never had a huge house, have never, ever driven a Porsche. But what they have is connection. What they have is safety and stability and groundedness and love and caring and community. So I'm not saying that wanting all of those things is bad. You can want all you want and you can have all you want. But just make sure that you're in alignment with those things and with those ideals before you go on pursuit of them. And also, the how doesn't matter. That's not your job. Your job is to get in alignment with yourself, get rid of, break through, release all of those false beliefs that have been cast upon you and that you've absorbed and that you are hiding under. Break through that, get in alignment with yourself, and then start making your list of what those things are that you want, your wish list, right? Once you have made your wish list, then you'll be able um, to take your wish list and put down the whys. Why do you want these things? Why? And if you can get in alignment with the why, then the how doesn't matter because those things will come to you. It's all about alignment. Manifestation of anything, whether it's the happiness that you want, the car that you want, the job that you want, all of those things are all about alignment. All of the manifestation that you can do in your life, from hoping that something's on sale when you get to the store, to finding a parking place right up front, to having a good day with one of your kids. All of those things you can manifest when you get into alignment. Alignment will only happen when you get happy, because happy is up at the top of that emotional scale, and it is a super high vibration, and it vibrates you right into alignment. Now, if what I'm talking about is all gobbledygook to you, you can find out more about alignment, about law of attraction, about manifestation, about shedding all of those false beliefs and unlearning everything that you've been taught, to relearn who you are. Remember who you are, what you want, your gifts, your power, all of that. You can learn more about that in working with me. And we always have fun. That's the bottom line. We always have fun. So even when we're grieving, even when we're healing, even when we're releasing, all of the processes and tools that I use to teach you how to get into an alignment with yourself and your gifts are going to be fun. We're just going to have fun, and we're going to laugh, and we're going to connect on a level that you haven't connected before. And it's just a big wild ride. So I wanted everyone to know who sees this, if you have a gift, one of the clairs, if you love oracle cards, if you love tarot cards, if you love writing books, if you love spells, if you love uh, creating healing tinctures and salves and using the earth, if you are a light worker of any kind, a grid worker, a gatekeeper, um, any one of those things that you might um, be in alignment with, or know that you have a gift around. Be proud of it. Be happy that you have recognized in yourself your gifts, and that you have the power within you to use it, just like Dorothy. Dorothy had the power all along, and you have the power all along. You've had the power all along. It is who you are, and you've been given the gift to be able to recognize it and bring it forward and help others. Help yourself. If you're interested in learning more about your gift, how to shed all of that that you're holding on to, that you're buried under, um, that might be causing you to feel like you aren't worthy, or you don't deserve it, then I would love to have a conversation with you, because you do deserve it and you are worthy. If you weren't, you wouldn't be able to recognize the gift and have this path. So I wanted to let you know that you aren't alone, that all of the healers that are speaking in this conference event for the next 3 days have gifts, They want to share them with you. They want to let you know that you aren't alone. They want you to come to them if you need to. They're here for you, and I'm here for you, and I'm happy to answer any questions or work with you and help you with your gifts and your alignment overall. So, thank you for joining me. If you have any other questions, you can find me at sheismeconference.com. You can find me at creativelife.happysoul.com. And um, I also have a Facebook group called Happy Soul Collective. You're welcome to join me there and feel that uplift and that working on raising your vibration every single day. So please join me, and I am going to leave you now. We're going to be joined again at 12 o'clock. Um, let me tell you who's up at 12 o'clock. At 12 o'clock, we have Amanda Smith. She is a grid worker. She runs the Activated Earth, and Amanda's going to be joining us at noon. So thanks, everyone. I will see you again tomorrow and Saturday. So thank you for joining me, and I will speak to you soon. Bye-bye.